Hi friends, Naria here. Welcome to episode 3 of Naria Lemaire Show. Today we're going to talk about such a popular topic. We're going to get into protein and the connection with satiety. What's up with protein? Why is it the favorite child? Today we're going to talk about it, and specifically, why is it so important for weight management? So let's get to it. For the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to talk about how protein can help you reach your weight management goals and why it's important that you prioritize protein with each meal. Protein is a macronutrient that we know helps with satiety. How does it help? Because it takes longer to digest and it has a higher thermic effect, which means it needs more energy to digest. One of the most common questions I get is, Naria, how much protein do I need? Do I really need protein? Should I have on the higher range, on the lower range? How much should I have? Does it matter if it comes from vegetarian sources? Should it be all animal products? And the list continues. But when it comes to how much protein we need, it's going to be based on you, because you're an individual person, you're a unique individual. So what that means is I need to know, or you need to consider, how much lean body mass you have. How active are you? Are you healing from anything? There's so many variables that you need to consider when you're thinking of how much protein do you need. Should you prioritize it with each meal? Definitely should. Now, if you're my client, you know it's not just protein. We also talk about fiber, but today we're only focusing on protein. So yes, definitely focus on your protein. How much? It's going to depend on you and your body and your unique needs. Now, a second question I frequently get is, should I prioritize protein for breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of them, snacks, when, how, where, and so forth? Much of it, again, it's going to depend on you. Let me give you an example for me. Now, personally, I start my morning breakfast with a high protein meal, and that's because I know it helps keep me satisfied until lunch. The days that I only get maybe 25, even 30 grams of protein, personally, I feel hungry very, very much quickly after. But I know how much protein I need for breakfast to feel comfortable. When I don't hit my protein breakfast, what happens? Naria starts to do snacky times. So if I see anything in there, maybe in the clinic, in the office, in the house, I'll start to randomly snack and I'll catch myself. And that's something you'll learn to do over time too, is catch yourself snacking and maybe having larger portions throughout the day. So for example, the other day, my lunch protein amount was super low, and I found myself snacking 2 hours later, which I never do. You do want to be careful, because if you do have too much protein, of certain types of protein, especially supplements, you may feel some GI discomfort. So these are all things to consider. If you try a certain protein supplement and you feel a little gassy or bloaty, it may be the portion, it just may be that brand. Give a different brand a go and see how you feel. But it is common for individuals to feel uncomfortable if you have too much protein for a meal. So make sure, and this goes for all the macronutrients, you don't want them all in one meal. You definitely want to spread them apart. If you're having 3 meals a day, 4 to 6 small meals, if you're doing meals and snacks, whatever your routine is, you just have to figure out how much you need per meal, and if you're doing snackies, in between the snackies. And if you're saying, how should I make snacks to help me feel satisfied? Number 1, let's prioritize protein. Number 2, let's prioritize fiber. Now, when we're talking about the quality of protein, I always encourage my clients to aim for high quality products. It's always best to have your protein from animal foods, from foods. You want to avoid just relying on supplements for all of your protein. Initially, once in a while, that's okay, but most of your protein, I definitely recommend, if you can, to get it through real food. Now, if you do decide to do supplements, which I do, it's totally fine if you do, try to aim for high quality products. Look at the company. Do you trust them? Try their products, see how you feel, and go on from there. But definitely high quality products. Something else to consider, if you're following like a vegan diet or maybe even vegetarian, you want to remember that there's complete proteins and partial proteins. If you haven't learned about it yet, please comment below. I have a great resource that's free that I can send to you. It'll teach you what are complete proteins, what are partial proteins, and how can you make the partial proteins complete. So definitely make sure to comment below. But essentially, if you have a partial protein, so let's say a bean, you can make it complete with a grain like rice. So that would make a complete protein together. Now, how else can you incorporate your protein? Planning, friends. When you go to the grocery store, think, am I prioritizing my protein? Am I gonna have enough protein for the week? Always plan. Planning is honestly the best thing you could do at home. We have so many resources now, especially after COVID. And what I mean by that is we can order foods, we can do grocery shopping online, and you can save the same foods for next time. So next time, if you're busier, you can just reload the cart from last time and keep it going. But essentially think, what are gonna be my proteins for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And again, if you're doing your snackies, try to prioritize your snackies. Now for breakfast, think, or for your meals in general, what protein? So let's say have a list of maybe non-fat Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, nice and easy, good old eggs, some low-fat cheese, chicken, beef, whatever you like, but make sure you do plan your protein for each meal. What I do hear a lot from my clients that want to work on weight loss goals but aren't too sure about how much protein and why protein is important, they will let me know about all the vegetables they're eating. But what I see is at the beginning is that sometimes protein is just not a priority. But of course, my clients learn everything with me. So by the end, they're rock stars with all the macronutrients. My personal faves, Greek yogurt is in my fridge day and night. My husband now loves it too. So when we go to Costco, we load up on Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fish. Usually it's going to be salmon, sometimes tilapia, berries week by week, but those are the main things. Chicken. I like to get high protein tofu for my lazy days, to where I don't want to think of anything. I don't want to really cook anything. Just do tofu or grilled tofu for 2 seconds, done. Now, side tip, because I like to do breakfast smoothies on my busy days, I like to add silk protein to my breakfast smoothie, and the texture is wonderful. If you have not tried making protein shakes with silk tofu, definitely recommend it. It'll give you some protein, maybe add some Greek yogurt, add some fruits, veggies, maybe some raw oats. Give it a go and let me know what you think. Another easy add-on is boil a few eggs throughout the week. Grill some chicken, slice them up. You can add them to your salads. You can add them as a snackies. Those are easy things to do. And if you have a slow cooker or pressure cooker, again, guys, we have so many resources these days that eating healthy can not only be fun, but it can be super easy. Throw all your protein in a slow cooker or pressure cooker. At least cook your proteins. And throughout the week, you can think about your vegetables and your starch. And even with vegetables, you can go to a grocery store and you can just microwave them and they can steam themselves. Guys, when you want to work on health goals, especially at first, make your goals easy. Make it easy for yourself. Don't aim high, create low-hanging fruits. And if you're my client, you already know about low-hanging fruits. Even after years of practicing it, I always have low-hanging fruits because I'm still human, I'm still busy, and you are too. So make sure that you always have low-hanging fruits. What are low-hanging fruits? Now, if you've seen my other videos, you already know. If you're my client, I always talk about these. These are easily accessible goals to reach. So if, let's say, I have time to cook, great. Now I'm going to cook some, maybe some salmon, mashed potatoes, and whatever veggies. But if I am tired, I am not going to do any such thing. What you will find me doing is going to my low-hanging fruits. It could be the grilled tofu for 2 seconds. It could be putting, grabbing my cooked chicken, putting in a plate, steaming some veggies, and even boiling some quick rice the weekend before and just heating it right up. Make low-hanging fruits easy goals to achieve. The easier you make your journey, the more likely you're going to succeed. Later, when you become more experienced, of course, you can definitely make it more complicated. But at first, do 1 or 2 changes at a time. That's going to help with long-term success. Be real with the process and be real with yourself, know your schedule, and learn how to make solutions. For snackies, those proteins can be beef jerkies, they could be again the boiled eggs, it could be a little bit of Greek yogurt, add a little bit of fruit, frozen fruit. Always have frozen products. Frozen veggies and frozen fruit are always in my freezer. Sometimes I just don't have time to go in the fridge or go to the grocery shopping every single week, so I definitely have frozen foods in my home. But those are some easy to go meals. Now, another option would be to just make a protein smoothie. You can't go wrong. It takes 2 seconds. And even easier if you're just like, I don't want to touch anything, have ready to go protein shakes. Like Fairlife has about 30 grams of protein, and easy to go. Have that with maybe some whole grain crackers or fruit and call it a day. Make it easy. Think, if my priority is, let's say for now, again, we're only focusing on protein. If my goal is to have at least 20 to 30 grams of protein, then what am I going to pick when I go to the grocery store to make my life easier? Now, will protein be the reason you lose weight? No. It's just a part of your weight loss journey. It's something that you want to make sure that you understand. Protein can help you lose weight, but if you're still overeating, if your calorie amount is still excessive, you're not going to. Or if you're still in your maintenance amount of calories, you're not going to lose weight. At the end of the day, in order to lose weight, we have to be in a calorie deficit. I don't make the rules on this, guys. That's just the way it is. So let's say your calorie deficit is 1,500 calories. You don't want to just have any 1,500 calories. You want to make sure that they're nutrient dense as possible. What I mean by nutrient dense, it means literally that nutrient dense. You're going to have fiber, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, high quality proteins, healthy fats. You really want to remember and go back to, we have to be respectful to our bodies. It's something that is so important. The more that you know that your body has its own process and you fuel it in a way that it can flourish, the better you will feel, the more energy you'll have throughout the day. You have to remember that your body is such a complex and amazing machine, and it runs so great when you fuel it correctly. That's why I always tell my clients, I always tell people, nutrition's going to be 85% of the outcome. Physical activity is vital. I always encourage people to be active. But remember, the outcomes, especially if you're looking to lose weight, 85% is going to be nutrition. Being super active will only make so much of a difference. If you're active, you want to be active to be stronger for other reasons, not just for weight loss. That's it today for protein. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm so excited to have you. Please make sure to drop any questions you have below. If you're looking for that protein handout that I mentioned before, let me know. Comment below or send me an email, narialemaire@gmail.com. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll talk next week. Bye, friends.